taking a look at tip number 2, wrong answer, tip number 2, avoid stuff that is inflammatory or insulting. I mentioned inflammatory is separate from insulting because sometimes insults are very diplomatically phrased, and sometimes you see something that nobody would really agree with, something that would be controversial. Well, something controversial would be inflammatory. Something insulting doesn't have to sound insulting. There are very delicate ways of saying very negative things about people. So avoid inflammatory and insulting answers. Tip number 3, and this again goes back to the whole avoiding controversy thing. The goal of these tests is not to rock the boat and challenge your perceptions. That's the goal of art. The goal of these tests is to challenge your ability to read for detail and to catch certain general ideas as they're expressed. So, point number 3, avoid stuff that is not with the common opinion. I totally butchered the writing on that letter. You should be copying this down as well. Stuff that's not with the common opinion, what do we mean by that? Simply put, avoid controversy. So if you're looking at an answer choice that says something that you figure you could never agree with, or that the majority of the people you know would never agree with, controversy, there we go, well, you're probably correct. If you're looking at something that makes a really bold statement that is something that you figure a lot of people would disagree with, trust your gut. Avoid controversy, avoid insulting and inflammatory answers, and avoid stuff that's overly positive or negative. And also, point number 4, look out for, usually, the following words. And again, this is not written in stone. These are just common things that good versus bad answers do. In fact, usually good answers in terms of tone will be explanatory, objective, and biased, analytic, admiring, appreciative. These are positive-ish things. Problem is, you can misuse any of these if the wording on the question is clever enough. So remember, they can get away with any of these words that are usually good by misusing them. They can also get away with any of the usually bad answers by using them cleverly. Taking a look at the bad ones, apologetic, apathetic, indifferent, dogmatic, contradictory, derogatory. These are not ways of evaluating discussions and arguments on academic topics. In fact, the second set, the usually bad ones, are honestly kind of emotional appeals, or they simply say the author has zero position, the author simply doesn't care. Now, of course, that's pointless. It's a pointless article if you write 600 words or so or less, 500 words, just to come out at the end of it and go, meh, and you don't care. You see my point.